individuals in terms of land management and payments that are needed to be made. Also, from the two products that are listed there that are not Microsoft-owned products, but they are recommended partner products for an energy organization. Enterprise GIS is a geographical mapping system. It's something we've tied into our CRM and XRM solutions for land management, and for us it's a lot more than just a geographical information system. It's actually a business intelligence system. If you're familiar, when you see data points overlaid onto a geography, it tells you an awful lot more than information in an Excel. So in terms of the finance system and business intelligence, those two have been very key in terms of what EBEX have delivered for us. It comes back to the large number of project companies that we've had set up, and the need to be able to report on those quickly. And the AX cubes have been very key for us there in terms of SQL Service analysis services. Also very important for us now is Power BI. We find that our users, our colleagues are very comfortable if we can give them appropriate access to the data that they need. They can pull out and they can do much better analysis and much faster turnaround of analysis to get the answers they need than if they were to go through a traditional route of having to regress a report and the lag that would take. So with mainstream, it's all about acting fast. It's about getting things done and getting ahead of the game in terms of compared to our competitors who predominantly would be larger organizations, utilities who control a lot of resources, I think, but may not be able to move as quickly as we can. In terms of the approach that we've taken there by going purely with Microsoft, the big savings are if you can work your way through with the Microsoft licensing partner and find the best deals by signing up for all the technologies, you're going to save money. So, for example, when it comes to Office 365 subscriptions, you can have people working in project portfolio management online, but similarly you can have the license for project on the desktop as well. So it's a lot of intelligent things there that can be done in terms of licensing. I've said before that you really need a PhD to understand all of the details of Microsoft licensing, and I know that it's probably the thing they get hammered on in their customer surveys, is just how complicated the licensing structures are. But if you engage with experts in that, tell them these are the needs, and they can find the best approach. In terms of support costs, our life is a lot easier because we have a pure Microsoft solution. Instead of having to talk to two software vendors and bringing them both onto a call to try and resolve a problem, and where they'll both insist that their part is working fine, all of a sudden you're having to work as a system integrator. Your time is also a cost, also valuable. Being able to just say, I have problems between this technology and this technology, Microsoft, they're both yours, come back with a solution. It's a massive saving. We underestimate the value of our own time, and just to be able to hand a problem over and say, they're all your technologies. They all need to work together. So give us a solution. That's a huge plus for us. And the other area that's a huge positive, and it's almost not well publicized. I find it's not well publicized enough even by Microsoft, is the natural integration points that exist between the different technologies. Microsoft had a lot of expertise in terms of particular products. So somebody will be a SharePoint expert, somebody may be a CRM expert or an AX expert. They're underselling the integration points that exist across the technologies, and something that we've benefited from is implementing these integration points. So in terms of our how we host the Microsoft technologies. We started in 2009. It was on-premise private cloud, a production and a disaster recovery data center, and we have it now monitored and managed by ClearPoint. But our medium-term strategy is, wherever possible, we want to move to the public cloud offering by Microsoft, and we've started on the journey. Our email, our CRM exchange, they're now in Office 365. We're using LinkedIn in Office 365, and we've commenced the establishing our SharePoint sites now in Office 365. What it's done for us is it's given us 50% saving on our hosting and maintenance costs for the infrastructure, and it saves about 30% on our applications support costs already. So it's very much our strategies. We will move wherever possible to software as a service. We don't want to lose functionality, but it's measured against what we actually make use of. We make use of a lot of the functionality within SharePoint, but quite possibly not nearly all of it. So it's a case of, if the public cloud software service offering meets our needs, and we need to change things along the way, we have a very good dialogue with our colleagues. And again, brought back to the values of what Mainstream is about, it's not a difficult thing for us to get them to buy into going with us on this journey. So the salient points, I suppose, in conclusion, what we did at the outset when we implemented our enterprise architecture strategy, we wanted to keep it as simple as possible. So the one that I've talked about is we've gone for a pure Microsoft approach in terms of software. We've also gone for a pure approach in terms of hardware and telecoms. It's all Dell hardware. All telecoms is managed by Aircom, who also provide the hosting for our data center. So you're dealing with fewer organizations. They take care of more of the estate. One of the big key points for us is that we're not avoiding the cloud at all. We're embracing it, and it's quite liberating to move things across where you can reduce the cost of ownership, and you can put your focus on working with colleagues on business priorities rather than on resolving infrastructure issues. So the cloud is very much where we are continuing to move with. Our approach in terms of working with our colleagues has been, it's all been about empowering users with the technologies that we provide for them. We're not jealous gatekeepers of the technologies. We keep the organization safe. We have our 27001 security management certification, but we give them as much opportunity to work with the systems and to own the systems as is possible. So we have concepts of them being system owners and site owners, and that it's very much their system, and we're there to enable them, and we're not there to make their life difficult. Again, that mentioned there in terms of the AX cubes and the BI capability of AX has made life for our finance team an awful lot easier. In terms of us moving to the cloud, what has been a key thing from the outset as well, which I understand is not easy in every organization, but we had the difficult conversation at the beginning in saying that we will not be customizing. We're configuring. Anything that is done needs to be configured, and that has meant compromise on the parts of our colleagues, but they know we have their best interests at heart, and it's also enabled us to go on this journey to the cloud. One other key element is, and this is coming back to EBEX and coming back to ClearPoint, who I mentioned, is outsourcing intelligently. You pick your suppliers very carefully, and you make sure that you have very clearly understood by both parties, clearly understood service level agreements with them, and make sure you do regular reviews. That's it is actually not that difficult if you're very clear from the outset. It's something that takes a long time is to document these things well, but it's pain early on, and then your life becomes a lot easier. And the last point, again, coming back to the values, is there's a number of points there where you say these can be difficult discussions in terms of configuration, not customized, in terms of we're going to move to the cloud, where we're going to say we're standardizing. You can't have you can't have an Apple Mac. You're using a Dell, and this is why. When you align your IT strategy to the company values, you're already on a winner, because you're highlighting the reasons for doing it. They're not selfish reasons at all. They're actually they're much more macro reasons, and that's why we argue what we're doing. We're doing the right thing rather than just acceptable. It's acceptable to say, look, we'll keep everybody happy and give them everything they want, but keeping it aligned to the higher goal is the key thing here. And it's what's enabled us to deliver this with an extremely small internal team. On the bottom right there, you can actually see the entire mainstream IS team, which is myself and Robbie Kennedy. Everything else is outsourced to key suppliers, and our job is managing supplier relationships and managing colleague relationships and joint venture relationships. So that's everything I was going to say. So I'll hand back to Paul, and thanks very much for listening.
Thanks, Mark. That's we're delighted that the business is going so well, going so well for you. So that's great. A lot of great points there. So I'm just going to slides back. A lot of actually great points. Some of the stuff that I've taken down there in terms of self-service. In other words, having your users with the real capability of getting at the information of functions that they need to get to themselves. I think that's great. Having a single vendor makes you as a business, makes you more nimble versus the bigger competitors. I think that's really key. And again, being able to configure your system as opposed to customizing it is really good. The natural integration points between all of the systems, I think in Microsoft we probably do underestimate how easy it is being able to transition from your CRM to your SharePoint. You shouldn't really know actually that you're going into other applications. It should just be really, really intuitive. I think yes, software as a service, really, absolutely, we've certainly embraced that, and there's going to be really some exciting news later on this year around AX in terms of software as a service. So thanks again, Mark, really, really great. So if I could just maybe delve into the kind of competitive landscape and a point you made. I mean, Dynamics AX a number of years ago, wouldn't have been on the tip of everybody's tongue. We've changed that dramatically, locally and globally. Double-digit growth in the high 30s in the last number of years, so really, really punching well. And that's not just an accreditation for Microsoft software, but it's a testament to our partners, and partners such as Ebex and Cisco. We're only as successful as our partners are. So and that's great. So we're enjoying a really fantastic period of growth, I think. So just to talk about the point, in some instances where we actually work with other software vendors as well as competing with each other, they typically are your Oracles and SAPs and some of the other more legacy systems like Infor. So give you a couple of examples now in some instances where we actually work with, and in true Microsoft fashion, throw out some of the names that are global names, but the example is still relevant regardless of the size of your organization. So Dell, for example, Dell use AX in all of their manufacturing and operational entities around the world. So every Dell manufacturing plant and business uses AX. They use SAP at the global consolidation piece. So AX has its own interconnectors with SAP that allows you to do that. Nestle do the same thing. They have Dynamics AX in all of their manufacturing and operational entities, I think in Africa and Asia. And again, Nestle being an old established company, they have SAP at the group reporting stage. So there's two really great examples of how we actually work with SAP and Oracle. So with AX, again, it's a, functionally a very, very rich application, great success and case studies across lots of different sectors, typically distribution, manufacturing, retail services, and public sector. And, I would encourage you to look at some of the examples we have on our website, Dynamics, that you can see some of these companies and how they've approached, their implementation, the business benefits they've actually got for it. So, really good, great information on our website in relation to previous implementations. I think the big thing, the most exciting thing, and it's the one that I enjoy, is that, we really do, when we are in competition, we really are, we do offer a much lower total cost of ownership, TCO, and that's very, very simple. It's cheaper to buy, it's cheaper to implement, it's cheaper to maintain, and you can either deploy it in the cloud or indeed on premise, and that's really, really important. And we're seeing kind of when you compare the likes of Dynamics to the other tier ones like Oracle and SAP, we're seeing independent research will show 30% difference saving in terms of by picking a Dynamics product, which is really, really, really compelling. So when you're looking at it and you are going to look at systems, you obviously are going to look at a number of different vendors. I think really have a look at where Dynamics can deliver that lower TCO to you. And obviously, think about it too when the total cost of ownership is, I am really leveraging on my current investment from Microsoft. So, so those of you who made, and Mark talked about Link, if you've already deployed Link, which is voice over IP, that means that ability is automatically part of Dynamics, be it CRM and ERP. So anybody looking to make a call internally or externally from the product will automatically use Link. So that's that. So I want to share with you now a survey that was carried out by a reputable organization. It wasn't Microsoft, an industry research organization called Ovum. The survey was carried out over 6,700 customers, lots of different geographies, as you can see, different organizational sizes, different verticals, and really the results are phenomenal, really, from our perspective. So what it did really was it highlighted that Microsoft is the preferred next ERP vendor. So 60% of respondents said that Microsoft ERP was their most likely option for future investment, and that's fantastic. Only about 20% were considering SAP, and then only around 35% were considering Oracle. So while we may have been lagging in the past against the other tier one providers, we've obviously now through our product, through our marketing, again with partners like Ebex and Cisco, we've established a really significant lead against our competitors. So that's where we compete with them. However, as I said, we don't, however, Oracle, SAP, and Microsoft needn't be mutually exclusive. So within this Ovum report, the lead analyst, a guy called Warren Wilson, suggests that side-by-side ERP deployment is in fact becoming the norm rather than the exception. And if you permit me to quote, Microsoft's strong showing in Ovum's ICT Enterprise Insights survey is hardly surprising. The company's Dynamics product line is an increasingly attractive option for organizations looking to augment their legacy ERP systems with capable enterprise applications that are easy to deploy and easy to unquote. So even companies that have heavily invested in SAP recognize that they can enhance and extend their legacy systems by adopting Dynamics AX as a platform and for their operational ERP. So great stats for us, and I'm particularly delighted. So really, to sum up, we're just coming close to the end of our call, so we need to wrap up. So lots and lots of really positive developments, insights, food for thought for your companies in relation to the all-up Dynamics products. In terms of the Cisco and Ebex partnership, for Ireland, it's fully supported and endorsed by Microsoft. It's a very, very good news for Ireland. Very, very good news for your organisations who are ambitious and think about how their success will help reduce the risk. We've heard, again, thank you, Mark. Thank you very, very much. Great insights, some really, really great things, some of the compelling reasons and stuff. How I think, in essence, Mark, you've shown how a successful head of IT, a successful IT organization can be, real business analysts and helping the business to grow by using a really clever use of systems. And then we talked about legacy systems don't need to be a barrier to progress. So for those of you who haven't requested the Dynamics AX ebook, I strongly recommend that you do so. It's some excellent information to be had in there. Some of the contact details, obviously I have my own contact details there, my email address and my phone number. Please do not hesitate to give me a call or an email. We also obviously have all of the other contact information through this collaboration as well, EBEX and Cisco. So all that's left to me today is thank you for your time, and I'm happy to take some questions now. I know we've just gone slightly over schedule, but if there's any questions there, I can read. Okay, I see one here. Please, can you send out the Oven report afterwards? Absolutely, yep. That'll be part of the distribution. That's the only question so far. We've another couple of minutes, and then if there are no further questions, we'll wrap up. Okay. All right. Well, I'm not seeing anything being typed or any activity, so hopefully we've addressed any potential questions you may have. Great information there, guys. Really appreciate the time you take. I know it's the end of a week. Yeah, it's nearly the end of the year here at Microsoft, so it's fairly crazy. But thank you again. Please reach out to me directly if you have any questions, and hopefully I've been seeing some of you, or maybe all of you, sometime at a meeting here at Microsoft or with EBEX. Thank you again for your time today, and have a lovely weekend.